And we're live. We're live after the second day of the Brisbane Test. Very warm welcome to Anurag, Pratnesh, and a debut for Manish here. Manish, you joined Natarajan and Sundar in the ranks here, making your debut for the Brisbane Test. We've seen you in the comments. First of all, a very warm welcome and welcome to TSB.
Thanks a lot, Tushar. That was very nice of you, and hopefully a debut as good as Natarajan and Sundar, if not better than them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's talk on the positives. Talk about the positives first. Second half of the day has been a damn squib. थोड़ा a bit like Brisbane का weather. हमारी उम्मीदों में बहुत पानी बरसा है over the two wickets that India have lost, managed to lose.
Correct.
Uh, for our viewers, as it stands as of now, it's Australia made 369 in their first innings, and India currently are 62 for the unfortunate loss of two wickets. With Rahane and Pujara on the crease, play has been called off for the second day, and that's about it. You'll have a half an hour early start, so the bags जो आंखों में गड्ढे हैं वो और बड़े होने वाले हैं अगले 3 दिनों में, depending on how many mornings do we have a timely start. तो I'll start with you only, Manish. सबसे पहले बॉलिंग पे आते हैं. कल हम लोग आप भी कमेंट्स में थे, and then we were also discussing here on both the videos that a lot of people felt कि 400 तो दिख रहे थे, and that these guys had it in them. पॉजिटिव फिर स्लाइट हार्श नेगेटिव मैं बोलना चाहूंगा. 315 फॉर 8, वहां से भी 369. ये प्रॉब्लम मतलब कब तक आप ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं थे मतलब फिनिश करोगे?
See, if you ask me, Kushagra, like if I would have told you yesterday कि कल, after the score line 270 something, 274 for 5,
274.
and अगर कल मैंने कहा होता कि we are gonna get all the 5 wickets and we are not gonna concede more than 100, you would have happily grabbed it. Okay, and now I understand your point. After the last 2 wickets took a lot of time, but that's the balance, and we have to look at the bowlers. They are still very young. We can't fault them. I mean, brilliant effort first of all. I know it hurts a little कि वो 2 wickets और आते तो we would have been a little bit better.
Actually, ऑस्ट्रेलिया की पूरी इनिंग्स में ही ऐसा रहा है. आप क्लस्टर में विकेट्स लेते हो, फिर उनको 50 रन दे देते हो.
So it's like that. I mean, these guys are still young. Time आते आते they will be better. शार्दुल ठाकुर, नटराजन सबको यॉर्कर्स बोल करने आते हैं. थोड़ा टाइम चाहिए, and I don't think that's big of an issue right now. हाँ, if it would have been Shami, Bumrah, Yadav, and Ishant, and तब अगर हम ये प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे थे, then I would have said कि ये बहुत खराब था मेरे हिसाब से. But yeah, I don't have any complaints with the bowlers. I was very, very, very happy, with what they did in the
Manish, you've got your own fan brigade, I guess. यार ये क्या है क्या ये सीन मतलब
every person has their own FC these days.
Yeah, man. So Atul who's on the sideline for today afternoon, he says, "Damn, you've got the goat on the broadcast." Yeah, man, Atul. थोड़ा हम लोग करते रहते हैं कोशिश. I'll come to Pratnesh with this, I guess, because there is no one else. There are 3 comments I'll read out first, Pratnesh, and then I want your opinions on them, because we've already had a not so happy discussion around this particular topic. Comments on Rohit Sharma throwing his wicket. That is by Viransh. Sorry. Gautam says Rohit Sharma, both the positive and the negative for the day. Varun says no Rohit Sharma jersey thanks to Rohit Sharma. So one of Rohit Sharma's biggest fans. Please tell us your opinion. And in my opinion, this is the 3rd time in a row he's thrown away a fantastic start. A start where अगर ये white ball होती और उसकी नीली जर्सी होती तो वो सेंचुरी एटलीस्ट 1 या 2 में बना के आता.
मैंने एक एनालॉजी दिया था ना 1-2 घंटे पहले, भाई को बटर चिकन दिख गया बाउंड्री पे, लेकिन
यार स्टैंड्स में दिखा करे ना,
स्टैंड्स में दिखा करे, वही प्रॉब्लम
हर बार छक्के के लिए जा रहा है.
इसको मायोपिया बोल सकते हैं हम लोग, लाइक विजनरी मायोपिया ऑफ प्लेइंग टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट, बिकॉज you could, like, it was written in the on paper, right? Rohit will score 100 today, Rohit will score 150, whatever. The comfort with which he was batting against Cummins, against Hazelwood, against I don't think he looked troubled against Stark either. लायन को वो काफी अच्छे से खेल रहा था. He was scoring boundaries off the back foot when required. He was taking out singles. And man, all of a sudden, क्या हो गया उसको? Like, what was the necessity? This is like you saw Matthew Wade's dismissal in the first innings of Adelaide. You know where Matthew Wade just didn't know what to do when he lofted
Yeah.
the ball up. And the biggest problem with the dismissal is the maturity. And secondly, it was pre-decided that he wanted to hit that ball for six. Because usually when Rohit Sharma steps forward to hit a six, it is after the delivery is tossed up, he realizes कि यार ये बॉल है मेरे मारने लायक, मैं आऊंगा और फिर इसको कनेक्ट करेगा तो सिक्स जाने ही वाला है. There is no doubt about it. The problem was, it was first of all Nathan Lyon. Secondly, the ball was tossed up and he was pre-decided कि मैं six मारने ही जाने वाला हूँ इस बार. Maybe he saw a gap between that deep mid wicket fielder and long on, and there was a gap there, no doubt. बट यार दिस इज टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट. सामने 369 का स्कोर ऑलरेडी पाइल अप किया हुआ है. अगर आप प्री डिसाइडेड जाओगे नेथन लायन जैसे बॉलर के अगेंस्ट, he bowled it very well. He bowled it he tossed the ball up in spite of it. Had he flattened the ball, Rohit Sharma would have been able to actually flat hit it between that gap. But यार उसने बॉल टॉस करी. Yes, रोहित शर्मा खुद का दुश्मन है. खुद का दुश्मन है सही में. ये बात गलत नहीं है, बिकॉज व्हेन ही फ्लाइटेड दैट बॉल, he tossed it up in the air and ये तो चला गया विकेट. Similar dismissal to what happened in 1819, how Nathan Land dismissed it on D square like last time out. कि ऊपर.
Another comment for you, because this is actually a little hilarious from Masoom. 9 times Rohit Sharma has dismissed Rohit Sharma, 6 times Lyon, 5 times Gabba. This is a bit from him.
Yeah.
But
it's like Rohit Sharma caught Rohit Sharma, bowled Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, man. I mean,
just a final few words, because he still has one innings where he can make up for his errors in the past 3. But how do you think this? Do you think this will have an impact on the noises from the outside with respect to his efficacy in the Test format, with respect to all the nonsense around the captaincy that keeps to come up, for no rhyme and reason around the Indian team? But all of that, do you think this will have an impact?
Yeah, it should, man. I mean, it should have a positive impact on Rohit Sharma in a sense. He should probably. I hope that Ravi Shastri is screaming at him. I hope that Ajinkya Rahane is screaming at him. I hope that his own family is screaming at him.
I hope he himself is screaming at himself more than anything else.
Yes,
I would expect that.
That's enough, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think, and I'm pretty sure he will be, because Rohit Sharma is one of those players that likes getting big scores. And in this Australian
once in a lifetime player, अगर इसने talent justify नहीं किया ना, तो मतलब it will be a massive shame.
I still remember 2011 में Yuvraj Singh has said after the World Cup, when he was a Times of India special editor for one day, he said that I would be disappointed if Rohit Sharma doesn't get 10,000 test runs. अभी तो 2000 पे अटका है, and it doesn't look like he's going to go any further than 4 at max. So how he goes to 4 is also a question mark now. Yeah, after throwing away wickets like this in the last 3 innings, it just looks like he's taking it a little too casually. I feel he needs to, once he gets settled, he can't take it casually. He can't throw his wicket away like this. It's absolutely unacceptable from someone who is probably the senior most batsman. Can't buy that.
All right.
I think that also
Gautam basically repeating the point.
He's just translating what Akshay said.
Yeah.
He's just translating what Akshay said.
Yeah, Manish, please carry on.
Yeah, so we also need to understand, it shows that that Rohit Sharma is, we can see he has got the skill, but the temperament to play in a Test match, he still lacks that. He has all the skill, and we have seen him do wonders in white ball cricket, But when it comes to red ball, he hasn't played that many games, and he still needs.
He hasn't played first class
mental
cricket also for a
toughness.
long time.
Exactly, and it is showing over here, because like Kushagra said, if this would have been a one day match, 100, 150 expected tha. But Test match ki baat alag hai. You can't throw your wicket away, and if he would have done it before, he would have known. Now I need to calm down. I've already got a boundary. He had already got a boundary.
Exactly. Badi achhi boundary mari thi.
Yeah. And I don't need to go do anything fancy now. But that comes with experience. He has the experience in the white ball, but that lack of experience in red ball is clearly showing over here. And the worst part, other than the wicket, was him struggling with his hamstring once again, that was another concern. The way he
Huge
fought it
concern.
off, that was another huge concern because we still have one more innings. So let's hope that isn't a big issue going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for the
Manish,
background.
just
Background disturbance is from my end.
carrying on what Manish said.
Yeah.
So, one thing is the temperament and the lack of experience in white ball and in red ball cricket. That is true. But also, what was the need for that? I understand that obviously falls in the lack of experience category, but just stressing on that, there are two fielders on the boundary row. What are you trying to do? And there are some people online who are trying to compare. Arey bro, jab Sehwag karta tha, to you guys used to. Sehwag never did that. Sehwag was never senseless. Excuse me. Sehwag was the
Yeah, Rekha,
most sensible
please don't
attacking
compare
cricketer of
both
all
guys.
time. Yeah, exactly. That was the most
Along
senseless
with
shot Rohit Sharma played in a long, long time, and in a match
and
that was
Anurag,
so important.
Anurag,
Yeah.
along with Sunil Gavaskar, Sehwag is the best opener India produced, Test opener.
Precisely, bro.
Exactly.
To those people who might want to put Sehwag and Rohit in the same category, just to tell you, Sehwag played the attacking shots. He identified where the gaps were. If there are deep fielders, I
Yeah.
know people would go back to that Sakleen Mushtaq delivery, but again, remember he had already scored 295 runs. India had already scored
Exactly.
600 plus runs. It did
Exactly.
not matter. That is why he went there. And that was
Yeah.
okay. That was one of the greatest savage moment in Indian cricket history, perhaps, or maybe no one could ever imagine to replicate that. But again,
Yeah.
you are on 44. Team is in dire need for you to stick around because
Yeah.
did he have like out of the 55 runs he had 44 runs? Come on, you have literally mounted such a great start. What
Yeah.
was the need? And it was such a half-hearted shot, wasn't it? Did it? I think it crossed the 30-yard circle at best.
Yeah,
Stark
barely.
had so much to
Yeah,
cover.
Barely.
It was
Yeah.
a chip shot. It was a chip shot. What were you
Yeah.
trying
That's
to
what.
do?
And
It
I
was
think
so
Anurag,
disappointing, man. I think
I
all
also.
the positivity that we had after that good bowling performance, yes, it was
Oh,
disappointing, but you know,
everything snapped away.
everything
Yeah.
I think was one tight slap on our face, and it just vanished everything. And that
Yeah.
was incredible. It
Yeah.
still
And
doesn't beat my mind. Yeah.
also credit to Lyon because I feel not many bowlers would have
Nah.
actually had the brains
See,
to stop.
one thing again, a
एक पे
little.
तो मुझे और irritation है 100th टेस्ट में इसको
He did
जबरदस्ती का
nothing.
एक और विकेट दे दिया
He did nothing there. This wicket,
कुछ नहीं
I
किया
would
उसका
not give
विकेट डिजर्व
1%
करने के लिए
credit to that.
Man,
He's a
I
good
mean,
bowler. He's done well in his career. It's a great thing that he's playing his 100th test. But this wicket, he had nothing to do. It was Rohit Sharma like 360 degrees.
yeah.
He caused
अनुराग
more
अनुराग
damage. Yes.
Nothing against Rohit Sharma's
सेकंड
stupidity
इनिंग्स
here.
में द
Yeah.
बॉलर ही
Yes.
pulled slash hooked didn't get his wicket फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में Hazelwood it was his own check drive Hazelwood did
Yeah.
not get the wicket this innings Lyon did not get the wicket it is absolutely true all three innings Rohit Sharma has gotten Rohit Sharma out bowlers
Yeah.
aren't troubling him Pratnesh so don't give credit to those guys it is Rohit Sharma we need to expect more there is one more innings to go and I would like to put this topic to the rest now because we've spent the first 15
Yeah.
minutes of the live just discussing Rohit Sharma. It just shows how
Yeah.
important Rohit Sharma is for the Indian team.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
there are no two
Yeah.
ways
That's it.
about it.
Again, we
मुझे
got no
पूरा भरोसा है
agendas.
वो
We are
इंग्लैंड
just
के against रन
seriously
मारेगा
disappointed by the fact that India's best cricketer in the current crop that is there in Australia, is not able to live up to the expectation when it mattered the most.
Yeah.
And to throw
yes
away his wicket.
he
That
has
And
yes
yeah, and
I'll just read
we
out a
should be
few comments
thankful for
there
rain. We genuinely should be thankful for rain. The first feeling in my mind after Rohit Sharma got out कि यार ये जो ऊपर बारिश दिख रही है ना वो अभी गिरनी चाहिए.
नहीं
Because I
वो
felt
तो
momentum
obvious
was
है
slightly shifting.
there is
Momentum
nothing to
was
be
shifting.
thankful पूरी
Yeah.
दुनिया ने प्रेडिक्ट करके रखा था 3 हफ्ते से कि बारिश होगी सेकंड डे से तो मतलब उसमें देयर इज नथिंग न्यू अबाउट इट कल भी 60% बारिश का है परसों भी 60% बारिश का है सेम टाइम so you will have 5 hours of play then you most probably will not have any play so that's gonna happen tomorrow and day after tomorrow so it's fine I mean we knew this coming back to the comments Masoom's come up with some fantastic stats so I'll just like to read
Yeah.
them out before we move on we'll discuss a little bit about the bowling first we'll come to Manish and then we can
Yeah.
start with Anurag around the what to do with the batsman there.
Yeah.
According to Masoom says, according to PitchWiz, this first innings has been the easiest conditions for batting in the first innings at Gabba since
it looked
2011.
good.
Hmm.
पाटा लग रही पाटा
Yeah.
एकदम
Pata.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ seriously सिडनी और ब्रिस्बेन ऐसा लग रहा है उन्होंने ड्रॉप इन पिच ली है, बट वो बॉम्बे और सूरत से उठा के लेके गए।
यार वो लोग उन लोगों ने डर के पिच बनाई है, लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट, उन लोगों ने डर के पिच बनाई है।
Exactly.
भाई हाँ से उन्होंने डर के पिच बनाई है। अग्रीड। Washington Sundar's figures of 31 overs, 6 maidens, 89 for 3 are the best by a visiting spinner in the first innings at the Gabba since Ashley Giles 4 for 101 back in 02. Okay, that's interesting. Washington Sundar, we'll come on to him. Yeah, I felt he was very impressive again today, and slightly on the slightly expensive side in terms of the runs conceded today. But all in all, to bowl 31 overs after not having played red ball cricket for over 4 years.
Yeah.
Credits, man. Credits.
Yeah.
8.6%. Again, Masoom is just bamboozling on with the stats.
Man, I want to know where he gets them.
Unofficial stats, man. Yeah.
Yeah, 8.6% of India's pace deliveries would have hit or clipped the stumps. The average for a first innings at the Gabba is 8%. So Indian bowling तो मतलब अच्छी लग रही है. मतलब there are things, easiest conditions, still 369, which considering where you were yesterday is not bad at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Discussing Manish, discussing Rohit Sharma's partner, Gill too was disappointing today. Atul says as Crick Buzz read, as read on Crick Buzz. Sorry, Gill did a shot today in the manner which he got out. I mean that was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
It hurts more than anything. It hurts. I mean, just like Rohit Sharma, because of the talent that he has, we have seen in Melbourne, we have seen in Sydney what he can do. It hurts, but again, in that moment, I think we should give credit to the bowler as well. It won't be just we can't blame Gill. We were expecting a bit more.
It was a good ball,
but it was a good ball. And come on, Gill again. He's playing his third test match.
Third test match, yeah.
Don't you think Manish Gill has more of a right to play the inexperience card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gill अगर वो मार रहा होता रोहित वाला,
Yeah.
That's excusable, right?
Yeah.
That's
in a sense it
excusable.
is. Yeah.
In a sense it is, but
Yeah.
again, I was more hurt than disappointed as compared to Rohit Sharma. It felt more hurt because we know what he can do. We see it. That guy has a bright future ahead of him. I hope, touch wood, I hope don't jinx it over here. So just it hurted a lot.
Rohit Sharma's disappointment was a juggernaut of different feelings. All bad ones.
Basically, Anurag, both the openers owe us now for the second innings. Both the openers properly owe this lineup now for the second innings.
Definitely. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, if they pull off something good, yeah, exactly.
Why?
See, I know we are disappointed, but I still think we have a lineup that can get us to a decent total.
It's not over. It's not over. We are again on the back foot like we were yesterday evening. Congratulations to Thakur, semi-debut. That's the funny term.
Yeah.
Sundar Natarajan for the wonderful debut spells. Brilliant altogether. Yes, Anurag, I'd like your comments on this, and of course on this as well. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Anurag bhai, Pisara bhai, sexy. So of course, as I said, Anurag, you keep talking about हर किसी की FC है, सबसे बड़ी तो तेरी है. Come back to the previous comment there on the debutants and on Indian bowling. Yes, we are disappointed with the batsmen, but how mighty proud are you about this Indian bowling setup, man? Do you have a net bowler bowling here who has made his debut, who's become the only cricketer ever to make a 3-format debut in the same series? You've got a man who has over 200 first-class wickets, but would never have even dreamt that he would ever play red ball cricket for India again after that disastrous debut that we had in which he had to limp off after 10 balls.
Yeah.
And then you've got someone like Washington Sundar who only stayed back because they needed someone who could actually help Indian batsmen out in the nets with respect to off spin.
He was there just because they needed bodies. Legit.
He gets his chance because Ashwin is injured. Just a word on the three of them, and let's not forget Mohammad Siraj. I felt he was unlucky yesterday. Felt he was unlucky today. Felt he's the leader of the pack still, and massive props to him as well. So just a brief word on all four of them.
In the first test, when we lost, when we had, I think this is what I said at the start of the series, didn't I? Like Mohammad Shami, Bumrah, this, this is the bowling attack that is really going to catch so much attention, that is going to keep us glued to our seats. This is the bowling attack that has the capability to put down perhaps as good a batting lineup it can face. And it and the batting lineup that we are currently facing, India is currently facing, isn't like even the best Australia has produced, and they haven't been like individually, even if there are talents, they haven't been in the best of forms. Manas Labuschagne has been riding a wave of luck, which we have been gifting him over and over and over again. So in spite of all that, for these youngsters to have come in and kept the momentum, because these people, it also uh, adds to the fact that our bench strength is great, right? I think we've lost Manish. I hope he'll be back soon.
Yeah,
So again, it just goes back to a point that our bench strength is magnificent, and I did not know it would come out this good, but because this, as Masum's one of comments read, this was one of the best batting tracks. I didn't know the stats and everything, but you could
yeah,
see the Gabba pitch, and you could see this is not the Gabba pitch that we are used to
Yeah,
watching. This had like the ideal bounce for a batsman. It had everything like sorted for a Marnus Labuschagne or a Steve Smith to score a very very big. To put up very very big scores and like put India totally out of equation with the kind of inexperienced bowling we had. But
yeah,
again, kudos to all the bowlers who did a fantastic job. And again, as you said, Mohammad Siraj, these were in the last 2 years we have seen Bumrah do that a lot, right? He used to put the pressure. He used to put the pressure on the bowlers. They used to defend him, and somehow, in an attempt to do something stupid against Shami, they used to give away the wickets to Shami. Which, like, obviously, Shami is a great wicket taker in himself as well. But we always had that one bowler who kept the pressure, and you can't get away when you're taking on him. So Mohammad Siraj, he played that role, and although I don't think we'll ever get to say that a player who's played just 2 tests is the most experienced bowler in the game for
yeah,
India, and he's done a fabulous job. He's kept it tight. I know his pace has dipped a little bit, but I think it's
yeah,
a matter of time. Just give him. I think if he sits in this lineup for 2 years on a regular basis, that pace will also go up. It's just
yeah,
it's all the quarantine and everything. It's not helping their bodies,
and
and
it's
this is
match
what
fitness as well, isn't it, Marwan?
yeah,
He's never played
yeah,
5-day
exactly.
matches.
He hasn't, and he hasn't played. So I think that is what is just playing a part in that pace dipping, because we know Mohammad Siraj can hit 145 and he can
yeah,
hit 140 plus on a regular basis. So that is one area. It's worthwhile an investment. Yesterday we talked about it. The last ball of the day, which Mohammad Siraj bowled, absolutely he gave it like everything 140
yeah,
meters, just whisked past Payne's ears. That is what he's capable of on a more regular basis, but that will happen in the future if we invest a little more time into him. But yeah,
yeah.
what a good performance.
Kushagra,
Yeah, and
one thing that I would like
yeah,
to add. Yeah,
Pratnesh,
yeah, yeah.
you carry on. Just make your point. After that, I'll just take a few comments as well.
Yes,
Just a
yes, yes,
stat
yes.
for and Masum and Amit. I know are the stat wizards here in the comments as well. But just a stat for our viewers. This is the first time since 1888 that such an inexperienced bowling lineup has taken to Test cricket. So you can
Oh,
just imagine Test cricket only started about 10 years before that. So
Hmm.
just saying, this probably
Yeah,
is the only second time in the history of Test cricket such an inexperienced lineup was there
yeah,
after the very first Test, wherein no one had wickets. Pratnesh.
obviously.
yeah,
Yeah. So, you remember 2004, 5, 6, probably in that era when we started actually watching cricket. कोई अगर बोल देता ना यार जहीर खान इंजर्ड है तुम ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हो उनको डर लगता यार कि अजीत अगरकर अच्छा बॉलर है बट आपको पता है ओवर में 2 बॉल बाउंड्री मारने लग देता है आशीष नेहरा है लेकिन अगेन देन अगेन क्वेश्चन मार्क्स you wouldn't you would feel scared straight away कि Zahir Khan's not there, what are you going to do now, what is the solution now? We have lost Bumrah, we have lost Shami, Ishant's not there on the tour, we've lost Umesh. I'm just you almost lose track of the kind of Bhuvneshwar is not there as well. So 5
yeah.
very very good
Exactly.
bowlers who, like, 3 of them are first choice, second of them are probably your backups. You've lost your first 2 set of bowlers, and still
Those two
you,
are too good
like
to
you
be
said,
backups as well. Again,
yeah. And in spite of all that, Siraj, Natarajan, and Shardul. Saini also got injured, by the way. So these three bowlers, you still had the confidence for these bowlers to actually pull off a good stint because they were bowling well. And I need to give this credits to the India A setup and to Rahul Dravid because this wouldn't have been possible had that setup not been absolutely spot on. Otherwise this would have been an absolute disaster. And credits need to be given where it's due. And I think Rahul Dravid's done a fantastic job there.
And just taking on
All
what
right.
Prathamesh
I'll take
just
a
said, Kushagra, just adding one more thing.
Yeah, Manish.
There was a
Carry on.
tweet yesterday
Just
by
a quick
Harsha.
word from you, but
Yeah.
carry on.
Just one tweet from Harsha Bhogle I read yesterday that we are getting players from the places of Karnal, Palghar, and
Yeah.
these are the places we never hear about, and we are getting fast bowlers who are making an instant impact. So a big thank you to the backroom staff for everyone who's doing all the work behind that we don't see. So it's a huge thank you to all of them as well.
Yeah.
The bowling setup in India, especially the fast bowling setup, has changed diametrically. I remember the days where Saurav Ganguly used to be the second seamer and the third seamer. So you can imagine how far we've come from that. I'll take a few comments, guys, and then I'll come back to you guys. Maybe we can have conversations around the comments only. Shrikant says, "Bro, I thought I can finally say to the haters that our hitman is capable of hitting big sixes even on the foreign soil." But again, it is the same story like अपन को बम्बई वापस जाना है. It's a bit painful. It's a little too soon. It's a little too soon.
Yeah, there's one more inning.
Asim says, so this is a lovely stat. I absolutely loved it. I've read it like thrice. Cheteshwar Pujara has now come down the track to spinners 1,093 times in his test career. He's only been dismissed on 3 occasions when doing so. That's once every 364.3 deliveries.
So, guys, all these so-called experts, please shut up every time when he comes down the track. Why is he coming down? 364 deliveries. If he plays 364 deliveries, it's more than enough. My goodness, that's such a good stat.
Yeah, no, this is an Australian agenda. This is an Australian agenda.
Australian नहीं अपने लोग ही है बाहर हमारे जो इधर बाहर ये वन टप वन हैंड खेलते हैं ना ये लोग बोलते हैं it should not be coming down the track.
क्या
बताऊं मैं अभी
Shane won.
Thank you, Master.
It's a personal agenda. बहुत simplistic चीज है. He is able to, when he comes down the track, just have a look at his bat and pad. He comes down the track and then he becomes like conventional 1950s batsman. Bat is tucked behind the pad and pat. कर लो तो वो 2.5 मीटर से ज्यादा आगे है. LBW हो नहीं सकता. ठीक है, that's how he plays. You get him out, you get him out. I mean, just because you can't do what he does, stop crying about it. In the last 10 years, seamers have had 6.4% LBW dismissals at the Gabba, the lowest of all venues to have hosted 5 matches. Because of the bounce. Because of the bounce.
Yeah.
There's a reason Rohit averages 26 outside India, and as I predicted, India bundled them around 350. Amit, you know what? Even the biggest Rohit Sharma fans cannot open their mouth today. So you are in safe territory, my friend. You can say whatever you want. We come from Amit to Masoom. Of course, that's a well-trodden path. Rohit Sharma has been both more attacking than Cheteshwar Pujara so far, 17% versus 4%, and more controlled, 11% versus 21%. But Pujara in one innings has scored more than Rohit has, combined in a couple of innings. So
this is a stat.
This is a misleading stat. This is a stat that a Rohit Sharma fan would.
This is a pointless stat actually. Rohit Sharma has now been outplaying 3 attacking shots. The only batsman to get out more frequently is Cameron Green. If we are comparing Rohit to Cameron Green, that shows what the problem is. Only for the second time in his 35 test career, Tim Payne has scored 250s in a series. The first instance coming in only second series in India 2010-11. टिम पेन को बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं सबसे हल्का कैप्टन है वर्ल्ड क्रिकेट में, which I sort of agree because he is probably the only captain who does not justify his own place in his own team, and only because he ends up sledging and saying it to everyone. But everyone still likes me, so it's okay, bro. We love you because you're not good enough, and we hope that you keep staying as the Australian skipper. Masoom Jain, two debutants with 3 wicket hauls in the same test innings for India versus West Indies first innings in Kolkata in 48-49 and versus Australia. Wow! हम लोग 70 साल के रिकॉर्ड तोड़ रहे हैं यार इस bowling performance.
Yeah, and that Brisbane test. That Brisbane test which is talking about 48-40, is that Brisbane? Oh, I'm sorry, West Indies. I'm sorry.
Kolkata, Kolkata, Kolkata.
कोलकाता
He's
कोलकाता।
talking
Yeah.
यार
about
मुझे तो ऐसे
India's
लग
West
रहा है कि मुझे तो ऐसे लग रहा है कि मासूम को नौकरी मिलने वाली कहीं तो इसके बाद
Yeah. And are you watching?
Atul says, I'm generally not that critical, but being the vice captain, you can't have a reason saying lack of temperament, not acceptable. Agreed.
Agreed, yeah.
Isn't it funny, Manish? The man he replaced as vice captain is the one we have our biggest hopes from right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the audio gone? Can you hear me, Manish?
I can now, yeah.
I think. Yeah, I was saying, isn't it funny? The man he replaced as the vice captain is the one जिससे हम लोग सारी उम्मीद लगा के बैठे हैं.
अब क्या कर सकते हैं, उम्मीद तो किसी ना किसी से लगानी है.
Yes,
That's all we can do.
I felt
Hope and hope. उसके अलावा
I felt
और
the
कुछ
only
बचा नहीं है,
reason. Yeah.
you know.
कोई नहीं.
Kushagra, the only
Pat
reason
Cummins-
I felt he got vice captaincy in this was to shut out the outside noise in this sense. Yeah, Pujara should be the vice captain here. Let's be
There was
honest.
no need,
Yeah. We'll keep that
After
agenda for
we don't
another
change
day.
the
Yeah.
leadership.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anna.
It's fine.
No, it's fine.
We'll
We'll move
keep
on.
that agenda for another day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. ये देखो हम लोग बहुत बोल रहे हैं. Once again, I would like to say हम लोग इतना रोहित के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं because
If
we
he scores
understand how.
100, I will be dancing.
Yeah.
हाँ भाई, मैं तो अभी भी कह रहा हूँ
Finally
second
dancing
innings
to goal.
बना सकता है वो तो you know let's not get lost in all the negativity. Pat Cummins
Yeah.
averages 8.44 in 20 innings post the Border Gavaskar Trophy. I think
Least
this must be the
interesting.
batting average he's talking about. It is true. Sehwag 8,000 test runs, strike rate of 87. Sir, वीरेंद्र सहवाग के बारे में
The
तो
God.
मतलब बोलना ही नहीं चाहिए. He was a delight. वो जब तक खेलते थे मैच ऑन रहता था, जैसे वीरेंद्र सहवाग आउट होते थे बस वही था. मतलब there is no discussion. He's a legend, bona fide.
He's probably the second best.
You know,
test
just a
batsman.
small way to describe Sehwag. You know, all those people who say "Panch din kaun betega," they used to sit and watch Sehwag in Test cricket.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
that.
Rohit Sharma needs the same treatment which John Wright gave to Sehwag when he threw his wicket. My only question is, Sehwag got that treatment at the age of 24, 25.
Yes,
This man is
32,
nearing
33.
24, 25. Just saying.
Yeah.
रोहित ने हैप्पी बर्थडे बोल के गिफ्ट रैप कर दिया. ठीक है यार, लेट्स मूव ऑन बियॉन्ड रोहित नाउ.
Yeah.
I want him to casted away as someone who's let us down. It's okay, it happens. Lyon can become the first bowler to take a 5-wicket haul in his debut test as well as 100 test. Also become the first bowler to play 100 test without bowling a line no ball.
Oh.
Wow, that's the second stat is absolutely incredible. The guy hasn't bowled a no ball in his career.
नटराजन ने तो पहली बॉल पे वो अपना पूरा तुक्का उड़ा दिया इस चांस का तो.
Man, but I know spinners don't bowl generally line no balls, but this is still an incredible statistic.
This is incredible.
99
Spinners don't remember Ashwin in 2016 West Indies, Lendl Simmons.
Yeah,
याद दिलाओ,
but
जाने दे.
यार
दर्द को याद नहीं करते.
Consider.
दर्द को याद नहीं
अनुराग,
करते.
ऐसी पेनफुल मेमोरीज को ना भुला दिया जाता है.
Exactly.
ठीक है.
I don't think Anurag likes to dilute pain. Anurag, dilute your pain, please.
Rohit Sharma, Asum says Rohit Sharma batting average in tests right arm pace is 31.07 versus left arm pace is 132. Yeah, but then the thing is, how much of left arm pace has he played? I think one of the guys left armers he played was who came. What's the name of that guy? That Wayne Parnell came right last year. Last year.
Yeah.
उसको दबा के मारा था. दबा के मार फिर मुस्तफिजुर को मारा होगा बांग्लादेश के अगेंस्ट. lopsided test record in that sense, and West Indies के left handers को मारा होगा. So we come to the next comment by Mayank. Was Rahane little late to hand over the ball to Natarajan, keeping in mind tail-ender's vulnerability against Yorker in full length? Hazelwood and Cummins got out facing similar deliveries. Yeah, we were discussing about Manish, I'll come to you. We are discussing about all right, I can't go to Manish.
Yeah.
I can't go to Manish. I think he's facing some internet issues. I'm pretty sure we'll get him back soon. I'll finish
Yeah,
the
yeah.
point so that we can go on to the next point and come to Pratnesh with that.
Yeah.
We were talking about Yorkers yesterday. We were talking about the need for Natarajan to start coming in and breaking a few toes and making a few people uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
I felt maybe he was slightly late, but again, I don't think there is anything wrong if you take 95 for 5. Okay, there is nothing wrong if you're gonna take
Yeah.
95 for 5. You are 274 for 5, as Manish said.
Yeah.
You've taken 95 for 5, and you got them out for 369. If the batsmen don't end up giving you a lead, it's their fault. The pitch is just
True.
too good for you to keep getting out stupidly. Like we have
Yeah.
gotten a couple of times, we've gotten lost wickets. Felt 244 in Sydney was also a very embarrassing performance, I felt
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Arun says experts in India were lucky 2 years back without Smith and Warner, but won't comment now that the
bolo.
Australians are lucky not to get thrashed 3-1 or 2-1. Your thoughts, Manish? I could come to you with the last one, but this one.
I totally agree with this. हम last time जब हम जीते थे बहुत बोला था कि स्मिथ एंड वार्नर नहीं थे कर लिया बट right now we could have been 2-0 up barring that one bad hour in Adelaide.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that one
Okay.
bad hour, we would have been probably
In a
2-0
winning
up.
position.
Uh,
Yeah.
we could have been like in a winning position. The series would have been wrapped up. This would have been just a formality, another test. So
Yeah.
everyone who's been saying that needs to come out of the shell and talks now. क्या हो गया भाई क्या हो गया स्मिथ एंड वार्नर तो आगे
This is
स्मिथ ने भी सेंचुरी
this is
मार ली
India.
अश्विन
This is India without Kohli, without Ashwin, without Vihari, without Bumrah,
exactly
without Shami,
exactly
without Ishant.
so Smith
Bhuvneshwar.
and Warner
I can
and
list can keep going on. KL Rahul.
Yeah, KL Rahul also is
exactly
not
exactly
bad.
Prashant.
So yeah. So anyway, I have personal stakes in this comment, but I really like this. India's playing well. Bowlers did a good job. Now I expect no battling batting. I really hope, Mom, that's not the case. Though I love the way you use battling batting, but I hope they do battle hard. We do need यार थोड़ा guts दिखाने की जरूरत है. And
Yeah.
more than that, आपको नॉर्मल प्ले ऑन द मेरिट ऑफ द बॉल ऐसे कोई डीमंस नहीं दिख रहे हैं इस पिच में यार कि मतलब ऑफ कोर्स बारिश हुई आज रात तो थोड़ा मॉइस्चर रहेगा सुबह
Exactly, exactly.
क्रूशियल हो जाता है कल थोड़ा अर्ली स्टार्ट भी है तो थोड़ा हो सकता है एक्सटेंडेड मॉइस्चर रहा हो बट ये भी तो देखो बॉल थोड़ी पुरानी हो गई है बॉल एकदम इतनी नई नहीं है एकदम एकदम फ्रेश रेड चेरी की तरह नहीं होगी सो यू सी आउट द फर्स्ट 10-15 overs hopefully these two batsmen are good enough to then start
Exactly.
making Pujara is in good form. Rahane didn't look all too bad in the little few deliveries that he played, and
Yeah.
he has been in good form. And he also needs to make up for the drop catch for Labuschagne.
Yeah. ऊपर से इतनी बॉल इतनी पुरानी भी नहीं है कि रिवर्स करे.
Sorry.
Exactly.
बॉल इतनी भी पुरानी नहीं है कि रिवर्स करना चालू करे मॉइस्चर में.
I don't think reverse होगी भी. I don't think reverse होगी भी यहाँ पे because क्या होगा कि इतना कंसिस्टेंटली बिकॉज कल भी शार्प प्रिडिक्टेड है मेरे हिसाब से ह्यूमिडिटी बहुत रहेगी एयर में तो मुश्किल रहेगा एनीवे
just this one comment
yeah
yeah I'm out
we got the message.
Pat Cummins bowls wonderful line in Test cricket. Across his career, just 11% of his deliveries have been wide outside the off stump. Lowest figure for any Test seamer, minimum 1,000 balls since 2006. I have no clue where you get these stats from. This is irritatingly brilliant, and I need to tip my non-existent cap hat whatever to Pat Cummins. It's bloody fantastic if it's just 11% of his balls have been outside. Wide outside.
Reason why he's number one.
If he's able to
KD, Akash Chopra once told the story of Glenn McGrath in the 2003 tour. He bowled one on the leg. Akash Chopra flicked him for a boundary, and after that, in the entire series, he did not bowl one ball on the leg stump. Towards the leg stump.
Yeah, just
no wonder
Yeah,
Akash Chopra's career was ruined in that series itself.
भैया आकाश को चोपड़ा का करियर शुरू होके खत्म भी हुआ उसे वही एक सीरीज का तो करियर था
Yeah.
So he went to Pakistan also.
Yeah.
And that boundary is the only thing that he can boast of, perhaps.
And Akash Ronnie.
Yes.
Whenever Harsha and Warren do commentary together, they enlighten us with India's demographics.
Irrelevant to that, yeah.
Fantastic. I think Warren doesn't need to be there. It's Harsha Bogle himself.
Yeah.
He's quite fascinated by the concept of getting people from
Unknown
other
places.
areas, and as Manish was also mentioning, that the fact that we've got people from Palghar, from 370 kilometers from Chennai. I'm forgetting the name of the village that Natarajan is from. And we've got someone from Karnal. Karnal is
Karnal.
quite further away. It's in Haryana. It's quite further away from Delhi
Yeah.
for Navdeep Saini. Not to forget that you have had a captain from Ranchi. You've got players from all over the country, and just shows the great job that BCCI at its lower levels has been, and the state boards have been doing at a lower level, trying to tap talent. So it's fantastic. It's good signs for Indian cricket. But as I said before the test match, let's stop winning hearts. Let's start winning matches.
Yes.
ये अभी मुझे दिल जीतते ही दिखता है. So I'm a little tired with that.
Yeah.
This is a question for me, but Anurag, you take this one. Do you still feel Sundar is a containment bowler? Yeah, my
Yes.
honest opinion is yes, but
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Amit, I think one thing that we have to understand is, yes, he did get wickets today, but it doesn't take away the fact that he's going to keep bowling those tight lines. He's going to bowl those flatter deliveries, and in that sense, the chances of him getting a wicket by bluffing the batsman sort of are less. He's one of the. I think he still might have a good test career, or maybe I hope he does. But he'll remain one of those underrated cricketers even if he plays for 10 years, because he'll be one of those players who'll uh, put the pressure on batsmen and allow the others to take the advantage of it. I think I think of what we saw, we still have to say is a containment bowler. Yeah.
Kushagra, can I say
Anurag?
something here? I feel it's
Asum is not in full force. I'd just like to read out that
True,
comment.
true,
Yeah,
true.
carry on.
And I feel it's unfair to call just because he's a containment bowler, he can't take wickets. I think that is a perception that people have developed. It's just the
Yeah,
lines that
precisely.
he bowls.
Containment को negative तो नहीं हुआ.
Yeah,
Negative
containment is
नहीं है.
yeah.
It's just that instead of someone like Ashwin
Bro,
who
these
would
are
keep,
ones who take one for the team.
yeah, it's
Like,
like
जड्डू भी तो यही कर रहा है.
Yeah,
exactly.
precisely.
Judge is very successful. Instead of bowling those
And
constant attacking lines on the off stump, just outside off stump, कि तुम bat pad पे wicket लो, तुम bold लो, तुम slip पे catch लो, he's restricting the scoring while he's trying to still take wickets.
yeah,
Containment means he's trying to stop the flow of runs by not bowling as many attacking risky
and
deliveries as
mark
he
my
can.
word, he can be very lethal against tailenders.
Yeah, as we saw it today,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because the tailenders don't get a chance to free their arms, वो सीधी गेंद को मारने जाते आउट होते हैं. So being a containment bowler is not bad. Being a containment bowler doesn't mean you can't take wickets. You can, and I think Sundar has shown that. It's just that the lines that he bowls are different to a bowler. You would say like Nathan Lyon, who constantly pulls on the off stump and tries to get those slip catches, try to get those people out bat pad, because they have the luxury of other bowlers like Hazelwood, who I would again call someone in that category, who constantly bowls the fourth stump, third stump line, which is very difficult for batsmen to hit on the good length. You can call him as a containment bowler, but look at the amount of wickets he still takes. Look at the economy of
Exactly.
George Hazelwood. So I don't think there is
and
nothing wrong, Amit, in calling him a containment bowler.
It's
All
not
right.
something that he can't improve upon. He can,
Yeah.
add more of, those lines to his arsenal. He's still very young. Pehla
Yeah,
test match, yeah.
precisely.
Time to do, like,
Yeah,
there's still a lot of career ahead of him. And he can
precisely.
learn. We have to learn from the likes of R. Ashwin, who's in squad, the experienced one. He can add those, but still, being a containment bowler, getting 3 wickets, I don't mind.
It's a
Yeah.
fantastic debut. No doubt about that. As Rohan adds to Pratmesh and your point, Sundar
Yeah.
cannot be the only spinner in the side, but with his abilities, he can do a great job being the second spinner in the team. Very much like Jaddu, especially in the subcontinent, and I
Yeah.
absolutely agree with you, Rohan.
Completely.
Yeah,
He is
spot on.
he definitely can do that. Atul says, "रहने दो पुजारा को अब बीच में." So yeah, I mean, ये बिल्कुल एकदम apt comment है. Pranav also saying, Pranav actually complaining here. Told you Lion was listening. and
Yeah.
to add, उसी का reply is Atul का Lion
This is why
I think
Atul has
that-
a fan base, Pranav. This is why.
Okay, Masoom's
Yeah.
comment is interesting.
Rohit has faced the likes of Bolt, Johnson and Stark as well in tests. Yeah.
Where does that lead?
He played a
Where does
shit
that
shot.
lead?
He played 3 shit shots. He's disappointed me 3 times. That's my personal opinion. I will move on from Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about Rohit Sharma right now. I'm waiting
बहुत
for
हो
my
गया
moment.
ना?
Yeah,
हाँ
and
बहुत
anyway,
हो
we've
गया.
talked a lot about it. We have talked a lot about it.
हाँ.
Viewers वैसे भी नहीं
Viewers
होगी
ऐसे
एकदम
भी नहीं
सलाइवा.
होगा.
There's a reason we call him MVP.
आकाश चोपड़ा
Akash
ऐसे
Chopra
KKR
KKR
का
करे.
too. ये नहीं पता था मेरे को.
He was a KKR batsman
He
with
did.
a
He did.
very very bad average in strike rate. Strike rate was
I
below
think एक
100.
ही season है वो
Yeah, 2008.
2008 में और क्या
एक
मतलब
सीजन
है?
भी पूरा नहीं खेला है. एक सीजन भी पूरा नहीं खेला है. पता चल गया उनको कि नहीं होगा इनसे, तो आधे में ही छोड़ दिया. Yeah.
Rohan, again, telling us about the best swing bowlers from Meerut. Rohan, I cannot disagree. We've got, in the past 10 years only, we've got 2 fantastic examples of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Praveen Kumar. So,
Yeah.
it has been very, 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 very kind to us in that.
He's
Masoom
also
is
a
a
Meerut boy.
Oh, one statman taking a dig on the other.
Masoom.
It's not. And Masoom, I didn't mean it rudely. I'm just saying, we've had enough of Rohit Sharma chat and banter. We can move beyond that. A credit to
Yeah.
Crickwiz, Kaustubh ji, and some other Twitter accounts for all the stats I get and also the stats group. Matlab, all of these guys are doing wonderful, wonderful work. And
And
just a credit to all of you as well,
yes.
Masoom, to Amit, and everyone else who's putting in the comments and the stats and interacting with us live. आप लोग के कमेंट्स नहीं होंगे तो बेसिकली हम लोग कितना ही डिस्कस कर पाएंगे. हम लोग के पास तो 15-20
Exactly.
And the
We
scale,
need
that scale,
agenda.
the scale of finding statistics is unique because it's not just कि Twitter पे है, Crickbuzz पे है, Crickbiz पे है. वो कौन सा stat ढूंढ के निकालना है ना, वो एक important चीज होता है जो मासूम में दिख रहा है. Credits to him there.
Right. It is essential for us to play the entire day tomorrow till it rain doesn't stop play. Varun,
Let's see
100%.
where that leads.
I'll read one comment, then I'll come to you, Anurag. Jadeja was boxed as containment bowler, but now out of all the bowlers of India with 200 plus wickets, he is the best average in India's Test history. Just
Beautiful.
makes our case in point.
Exactly.
Washington Sundar can be a huge success. Containment bowler इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because you need to change his line from middle and leg to off and outside off. Give him a little bit of an
The fourth
opportunity.
stump line, yeah.
More modes of dismissals.
Yeah.
He can't just
Containment
be
का
the bowler
मतलब
जो short mid wicket पे या short क्या बोलते हैं leg slip या leg गली पे catch कराए या गलती से miss करा के अपने toppage ले. Can't only be that bowler. He needs to have more to his more strings to his bow.
यार कंटेनमेंट बोलने का मतलब ये भी है कि यार हम बस रन रोक रहे हैं. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि विकेट रोक रहे हैं. रन रोक रहा है वो. आई थिंक लेट्स बी क्लियर.
ये तो और भी अच्छी बात है.
Yeah, Anurag, ये तेरे लिए क्वेश्चन है मेरे को. I really like this comment by Vikrant. He says Australia some wickets are best in the world to just be consistent in one area, then spreading balls all over. That has been the mantra of Australia's top bowlers. Playing on India's patas, Indian bowlers tried too much rather than concentrating on the fifth stump and having a 6-3 field. Your thoughts, Anurag? Because he is right. Australia वाले ball literally उसी like 2x2 का आप स्क्वायर बना दो, उसी में बॉल गिरती रहती है. Whereas Indians का आपका स्प्रे मैप होता है, जैसे कि स्प्रे पेंटेड टाइप पिच मैप होता है in terms of bowling. So, your thoughts on that?
See, I think, and I actually don't think this is because our people actually have sometimes lost track of it. I think this was said to them by some of the people in the coaching staff because I think they've taken that batsman moving thing a little too seriously than what was needed. I think that is where the overemphasis on the leg stump line just I think as I said, it was overemphasized. I felt Vikrant said, as he said, I think that's spot on because you can add that X factor tactic into your arsenal, but eventually what gets you the big wins, what gets you into good positions, what gets you in a strong commanding position are these things like precisely what Vikrant said, a 6-3 field and a proper fourth stump, fifth stump line पे डालते रहो. यार that is a tried and tested thing since God knows when, and it
Yeah.
still works. It is still, if you are getting a little bit of a hint of a moment, especially Shardul Thakur, I felt, who was getting some moment
Yeah.
yesterday. Had he done that for
Exactly.
2-3 overs, 2-3 over
Yeah.
दे देता रहाने उसको, if not 2-3-4-5-6 overs, had he given
Yeah.
that and had he asked him to keep doing that, even if he was getting it for boundaries, I think he would have gotten maybe a wicket maybe a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is a very good case.
यार अनुराग ने ना
ये और
आर्सेनल और
देता है।
फुट टैक्टिक्स एक ही सेंटेंस में बोल दिया, मेरे को हंसने आ गया बस.
Akshay is also requesting Masoom ki जाने दे भाई. Masoom, once again, क्या बोलते हैं, all respect to Rohit, but yeah, please थोड़ा सा जाने दो. I'm clarifying the average for Ravindra Jadeja is
Jadeja.
24. मुझे मतलब it's scarcely believable but fantastic. ये देखो शुरू हो गई इसकी negativity. If India don't start well tomorrow, you might see me boasting at the last day of the test match. ठीक है यार, मतलब तेरे को हटा देंगे रिकॉर्ड से.
नहीं बुलाएंगे, हाँ नहीं बुलाएंगे.
Yeah.
It is not Jadeja, it is Sir Jadeja. Amit, please keep that in
Yeah.
mind. That is true.
Yeah.
Atul asks, is the 2x2 square on the opposition's head, coach?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Especially if it's Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark, and Lyon. Yes.
Yeah. Amit agrees with Varun that it is Sir Jadeja. And question for Manish. Manish, यार देखो क्या है कि question काफी interesting है. Pakistan
Yeah.
included 36-year-old Tabish Khan in the squad for South Africa series. So are there any chances of 36-year-old prime Anustup Majumdar for England series? क्यों? मतलब please let's talk in context, right? पाकिस्तान ने क्यों ताबिश खान को लिया? पाकिस्तान ने ताबिश खान को लिया क्योंकि उनकी जो current crop है, they're not performing. They've had a poor series of New Zealand. They had a poorish series of England, and उससे पहले before the World Cup, they had a very bad series of South Africa as well. So in terms of Test cricket, they've not really been doing that well. And India, you make such replacements when your team is in dire straits, right? India is not in dire straits, are they?
Exactly. I don't really think so. We have got a brilliant crop already. We got a brilliant backup as well. So the 36-year-old जो इसमें लिखा हुआ है, the age
का तो matter नहीं करेगा.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter over here. It's just that the situations with the two countries are completely different. We are probably at the peak right now. Even without Kohli, we are winning matches. The batting is doing well. They are winning matches. They're drawing matches. So, I don't really think so. We need someone like, even though if he's in prime, if we are in a situation, if we need someone like him, then we might. But no, the countries are at two very different ends, right now. At Pakistan, they're still coming up. They're still struggling with their batting, which they have always done, I believe. But India, on the other hand, we are in two different situations right now. So
और मनीष मुझे ऐसे लगता है ना कि unless अनुस्तुप मजुमदार plays like consistently 100 मार रहा है, 150 मार रहा है, consistently every match, if he's knocking on the door of the Indian selectors, they will have to pick him.
बहुत मुश्किल है as a batsman to make an impact or make a debut at that time.
And you also need to remember one thing.
If you were to follow Pakistan's way, then Srisan would be making a comeback.
Okay, Manish, please complete your point.
Yeah.
So one thing also needs to understand, he might be hitting runs and all and everything, but is he fit enough to get into this Indian team? Because that is something that
yo-yo test karayega tu.
Yo-yo test.
Everyone has to go through it. So,
yeah.
Let's see.
Coming back to the comments, I think we have a couple of comments which Masoom with another stat which is very painful for all of us. Today is the third time the trio of Stark, Lyon, and Hazelwood scored in double digits against us. And my friend, this will not be the last time. So yeah. Amit says Shane Warne was a great bowler but is a twat of a commentator. He complains too much. He keeps complaining the entire time. It's so painful to hear him talk. And then especially after the comments that him and Andrew Simons made for Marnus Labuschagne.
He should make that a distant wedding.
They shouldn't be allowed it.
He-
They should be
He's
allowed
like
to
that
comment.
uncle at a distant wedding. He's not happy with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or for an American, for American people who, if ever they are ever watching, he's like that. He's like the racist uncle on the Thanksgiving dinner you want to avoid, right? You just want to sit him at the end of the table, no kids around him, surround him with wine, and give him his turkey, and there you go, Fox News on.
यार कोशाग्र, I'm thinking, मेरा दिमाग यही चल रहा है कि शेरवान
Oh,
को अलाउ
God.
कैसे किया यार वापस ऑन स्क्रीन after what happened with
Sorry?
Manas Labuschagne. After the Manas
हाँ.
Labuschagne incident, how are these guys on
They-
screen?
अरे
That is-
एंड्रू साइमंड्स भी है, बीबीएल में भी कर रहे हैं दोनों कमेंट्री.
यार क्या मजाक चल रहा है यार, मतलब तुम सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट नाम की चीज नहीं है कुछ इन लोगों को.
नहीं है. नहीं है.
मालूम है.
Yeah.
ये हम लोग मे भी शायद हम लोग थोड़ा भूल रहे हैं अनुराग. मैंने ऑनेस्टली
Yeah,
मयंक आई हैड नॉट गिवन दैट मच ऑफ अ थॉट कि वी हैव मयंक एज वेल, बट यार मजा आ जाएगा यार. इफ ही इज एबल टू गेट अ गुड स्कोर टुमारो, दैट वुड बी फैंटास्टिक, इजंट इट?
It
And
will
so
be.
good
It
for
totally will
India.
be. It totally will be. And once Rohit was dismissed, actually we forgot the fact that one thing that we were thinking was maybe Rohit and Rishabh are the only people who can actually put us in winning positions. The other two are
Mayank bhi hai.
a little more defensive. Mayank, I think, adds to that list. I think let's hope for something.
Yeah, a settled Rahane will also add to that list. Once
Yes,
Rahane crosses
exactly.
15-20
Crosses,
runs,
yeah.
he will add to that list because Rahane plays his shots. So
Yeah.
I don't think Rahane. ये जो Rahane की
In the
reputation
Melbourne
बना
test,
रखी है ना
he
कि
took on the
धीरा
new
खेलता है.
ball fantastically. I felt.
ये जो Rahane की reputation बना रखी है ना, धीरा खेलता है, सब बकवास reputation है. जाके उसके performances देखो टेस्ट क्रिकेट में, मैं तो कह ही नहीं रहा T20 वनडे में देखो. He is a stroke maker. मतलब I will never have that कि there is
बस इनिशियली टाइम लेता है, which is okay. It's just cricket anyway.
Saif says hi, so we say hi back. Amit says
sir.
Pakistan is ranked 7th in the ICC Test ranking. End of story.
End
Yeah,
of
देखो,
story, yes.
you don't flog a dead horse. It's not fair. So let us let them be. Let us wish them all the very best for the South Africa series. I really want Pakistan cricket to come back to the top. Because it's more fun when we are neck
That is
and
more
neck.
fun. Yeah.
I would rather Pakistan is near the top than someone like an England, South Africa, New Zealand, or Australia are on the top. So those are my thoughts there. Also, love the banter between Harsha and Agarkar for the big game tomorrow at 10 p.m. IST.
Kushagra, only one comment. Only one
Is this
comment.
something I
Only one
missed on the
comment here.
commentary?
Yeah, maybe.
but,
I think. No, it's in the
was
post-match
there.
show, I think.
It must be
there
post-match,
in the
right?
post-match. It was
Yeah.
there in the post-match. But यार हर्षा बोगले आर्सेनल फैन है ना, तो बीच में आना ही क्यों है आपको?
Agarkar is a United fan.
Agarkar is a
Yeah,
United
big
fan.
famous.
Nick Knight is a Man City fan, but I know Harsha Bogle is an Arsenal fan. So यार क्यों बीच में आना है तुमको? यार तुम
He's an Arsenal
रहने
fan.
दो ना. Yeah, from what I have heard. and
कितना ही Arsenal fan
moving
होगा
on.
बोलने का, मैं मानता ही नहीं.
I know that sort of is disappointing to KD, but I think I've seen him
I'm
compliment
not
Arsenal in a
disappointed.
lot of.
I
I
thought-
think it is true.
He is an Arsenal
कोई
fan.
बात
Yeah.
नहीं यार, गलती हर किसी से इंसान से होती है. Masoom says Root scored a magnificent double and something to worry being an ICT fan. What is Indian cricket team?
Indian cricket team.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
ICT
tough.
fan, भाई, Indian fan, okay. नहीं यार, it is worrisome, but अभी तो देखो वहाँ पे क्या मतलब school level.
Pranav, I take incredible offense to this because we have one Man City fan like right in the shareholders list of TSD. He's considered half a man, but yeah.
अच्छा. There are a lot of cricketers who are Man City fans,
Yes.
Andrew Flint
God knows
was a Man
what
City
reason,
fan.
but again, yeah.
And James Anderson, even though he's a his parents are Burnley supporters and everything else, he attends Man City matches whenever he can. And you got, I think you got others as well. So they do have a few new oil rigs.
Oh, this is new information.
Anurag, there is some background noise for one person. If you guys could just mute while I read the comments.
Yeah.
Thank you. Rahane has one of the best techniques on the back foot, especially through the point and third man region. Yeah, man. Like Ajinkya Rahane, I absolutely love that guy. No, nothing to say there. We will wrap up soon, guys. I'll just make sure that I get to all the comments. I don't want to miss out any of them. Uske
Yeah.
alawa, just your final thoughts on the day. We'll do a look ahead to tomorrow in the video at night, so we'll not go there.
Yeah.
But just a final, final word from the three of you. The only player from India to score a century in Gabba, the only players are Ganguly and Murli Vijay. I read Arnab. I'm sure you must have seen Arnaba's tweet, right?
Yeah.
They're showing the second best 144 innings highlights from Gabba.
Yeah.
On Sony, because they were
Yeah.
showing Saurav's century, whereas Saurav played against a measly attack compared to the one that
What
Murli
Vijay
Vijay
did.
played onto. So
Yeah.
I feel like we should give credit to Murli Vijay because that is a fantastic innings. I
That
know
is
India
fantastic
did not
innings.
win
Yeah,
that
totally.
match, or ended up losing that match. But yeah, props to Murli Vijay. Sir, I think you're slightly underappreciated in Indian cricket, considering you had 61 Test matches, which is a phenomenal achievement as a
Yeah.
Test career for you.
And he always
And you were
managed to stay.
phenomenal.
And
You're
has
from
hundreds in
2010,
England, South Africa, New Zealand, and
Australia.
West Indies and Australia. Come on.
Australia.
So you scored everywhere you went. Still felt you were dropped a little too early, but it is what it is. Wish you all the very best for the IPL that's coming up. I think you are part of the CSK squad, and hope you're able to justify your talents there.
Yeah.
मनीष अकेला इधर
I didn't
लिवरपूल
know
बाकी
this.
सभी
Hey,
अभी हम
Oh,
लोग बात नहीं कर रहे उस मैच की यार
yes.
बात
नहीं
कर
कर
रहे
रहे
थे
बात.
it's tomorrow. We are going to do a live for that tomorrow. Let's keep it
Yes.
tomorrow.
yeah Gaurav Kapoor is a Liverpool fan so good so we are giving out balance I guess
Yeah.
Yeah.
shout out to my display while you read this comment this boy lovely DK loves Murli Vijay move
यार कुशागर, I told you yesterday
Not
we will not
Not
read
even
any
getting
comments.
there. Not even talking about that. Yeah.
Manish with a fantastic debut. Akshay अब bench पे है.
Thank you.
I want more of Pujara and Pant partnership. Yeah, I want Pujara and Pant do play together, but it is like 300 for 4
Yeah.
when they come on.
Exactly.
Not like 400 for 4 because I want Mayank to also score runs. So Pranav says bad effort right now, and on that impossible note, I think we'll take a leave to all of you. Manish, just a final word on the day's play. Where do you think? Give me a percentage of how this test match is placed.
Right now, I think I'm still gonna say India a bit ahead. I think 55% India and 45 to the Australians. I still think so because I have high hopes. If I wanted two players to bat early on tomorrow, especially after the rain, those two players would always have to be in Rahane and Pujara. So I'm happy that those two are the piece, because if there's anyone who can, tackle those early swing and those condition, is those things. So that's why I'm happy that those two are still there with Mayank and Pant. So we're still a bit ahead considering the way we bowled in the first session. So 55 India, 45 Australia.
यही बंदा चाहिए हमको, यही बंदा चाहिए हमको. My review of the day. I think Manish summed it up. But
just one liner on that and your percentages for the match for the day.
I'm just going to do 3 actions which are my emotions for the day. That was my day, done and dusted.
All right then. All right, just give me a percentage. Just for my satisfaction, give me a percentage. Australia India breakup percentage.
50-50 right now.
Yeah.
50-50. Anurag, same question. You just a couple of one-liners on the day's play and your percentage.
I was actually going to say what Manish said, that India is slightly ahead, but I thought I'd actually face a backlash. But I'm glad there is some support there, because I think Rahane and Pujara can set up a big platform for Pant and Mayank to score a little quickly. I am hoping for that. Fingers crossed, to all of us. from all of us. Let's hope something great happens tomorrow. It's one of the biggest days in Indian Test cricket history. I feel tomorrow. It's very, very
Yeah.
crucial.
It's been like that.
That's something we. Sorry.
It's been like that since the tour started. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
feeling
that's
like
what I was
that,
going
that
to say.
every
That's
day is
exactly
a
what I
big
was going
day.
to say.
This is the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
important. This is the most like I've never taken it a series as personally as this. This is very, very much needed.
All right. I'll just read out there have been a few more comments, while you guys were talking. I'll read that out and then I'll give my percentage there. I think V Express Sport में insecurity एकदम दबा के भर गई है. My cricket is also on the line with this Manish debut. And Atul कहता है I have been outlasted already, Rohan.
Yeah. If Manish is talking so positively, yes.
Tough times ahead, Atul. So वी एक्सप्रेस स्पोर्ट को थोड़ा सा वो चल रहा है, क्या बोलते हैं, थोड़ा सा सेल्फ डाउट और
Internal.
सेल्फ डाउट चल रहा है.
I think there's going to
Guys,
be a lot
we
of
love you all
internal
and
calls today.
we'd love to have more of you on, because I think the banter between the all of you would be fantastic for us to just watch as an audience. We'd
Yeah,
love to do that.
I'll just lay back.
Yeah. Who's the concussion substitute for the podcast then? Varun, actually हमारे पास concussion substitutes की team है.
हाँ,
हमारे पास 11 लोग हैं जो कि सब की तरह बैठे हैं.
एक बार इफेक्टिव हुआ कंक्शन सब्स्टिट्यूट, तो तब से लाबुशेन बन गया हूँ मैं.
99
Rohan
one in
Gulati
favor of
said,
India.
As I said, my blood group is O Rohan.
At least we will have a 5-day test again. Thanks to Rain Gods. Regardless of that, I think we would have had a 5-day test because the two teams are good and they'll fight for the entire 5 days. Thank you so much, Pratnesh, Anurag, and Manish for joining. My thoughts are India were doing well. India managed to pull back a lot. 369 is a fantastic effort by the bowlers. I wish we hadn't loved Rohit Sharma. That is the only thing. Shubman, it happens, is a new boy, very young in his test career. But Rohit, please have a look at that. Please थोड़ी खुन्नस खा के आया second innings में. We need a big innings. Regardless of whatever the match scenario will be, we will need a big innings from Rohit Sharma. That is a given.
Take offense
So,
and take
let's
it
go.
out on the Aussies.
Yes.
You can do it. Come on.
And I won't mind if at 99 Nathan Lyon is bowling ना, वो छक्का मार के सेंचुरी करे कि यार ये है, ये रोहित शर्मा.
I don't care. I don't care.
don't care.
Side लेके साइड में भाग जाए, मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता. ठीक है, पर बना दे. ठीक है. So that's the scene there, and my percentages, unfortunately, guys, I do not concur with you guys. I think it's 60-40 for Australia, as it was yesterday. It's 60-40 for Australia
realistic.
because we got that wicket.
Thank you for
had we not got
yeah.
that wicket, I would have said 50-50. That's all from my end, guys. इस बार हम लोगों ने बोला नहीं, but please do like, share, and subscribe. Do check out V Express Sport, their Insta page and their Twitter feed, and of course the Insta live that they're going to do this week as well. Thank you so much, Manish. An amazing debut. We hope to keep seeing you soon. We've got loads of cricket coming on in the next 2-3 months. So let's hope that we see you more of you. And Pratnesh and Anurag, यार तुम लोग के पास choice है नहीं, तुम लोग तो होते ही हो. So thanks for being there. See you soon. To all of the viewers, please do keep interacting the way you guys have been. We are absolutely loving this experience of actually having someone to vent out our anger and frustration to, and of course, share.
जाके lunch करो अभी.
Yeah. All right then. See you guys. Do log in at 10 p.m. We'll be live at 10 p.m. once again, having a look ahead to the day tomorrow. And from everyone here at Sports Join and the Express Sport, we'll see you soon.